It's the first Tuesday following the first Monday in November. In the U.S., that means it's Election Day. Governor's races, the New York mayoral election, different state referenda. That's when people vote on issues rather than individual offices. Some of today's elections are getting national attention. We're going to start in New Jersey, where voters are casting their ballot for governor. According to the most recent polls, current Governor Chris Christie is expected to be reelected. There's a governor's race in Virginia, too. The state doesn't allow governors to serve consecutive terms, so the new governor will either be Republican Ken Cuccinelli on the left or Democrat Terry McAuliffe. There's an interesting referendum on the ballot in Colorado. 11 counties are voting on whether to secede, break off from the state. It would take more than this one vote. The people behind the idea don't expect it to happen. They say they're trying to send a message to their state representatives. While there are elections happening around the U.S. today, some people are already focused on a different election that's 3 years away.
Run, Hillary, run. If you run, you'll win and we'll all win.
An enthusiastic, high-profile endorsement from Senator Chuck Schumer. At the Iowa Democratic Party's annual Jefferson-Jackson dinner, he pressed Hillary Clinton to run in 2016.
It's time for a woman to be president. And so, tonight, here in Iowa, and I won't get this opportunity again, I am urging Hillary Clinton to run for president.
He's not alone. A group of 16 Democratic women in the Senate feel the same way. All of them signed a letter encouraging her to run, according to a Democratic source who said Kay Hagan talked about the still-to-be-released letter at a fundraising event last week. The most recent CNN ORC poll of likely Democratic presidential contenders shows Clinton with a huge lead. 65% of Democrats polled chose her, with Vice President Biden a very distant second. The Republican field is a little more crowded. Chris Christie, Paul Ryan, Rand Paul, Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and Ted Cruz among the favorites of Republican voters.
John, how are you, bud?
But it's the New Jersey governor, just one day out from his likely re-election, getting all the buzz, especially since his campaign seems to be as much about 2016 as the Garden State.
I can walk and chew gum at the same time, Christine. I can do this job and also deal with my future, and that's exactly what I will do.
Just the facts. Edward Snowden, an American, was an employee of private companies that worked with the U.S. National Security Agency. Earlier this year, Snowden leaked top-secret information about NSA programs to the media. The information detailed how the NSA collected information, like phone call records of U.S. citizens and world leaders. The U.S. government charged Snowden with espionage and theft of government property. Snowden fled to Russia, where he lives today.
The information that Edward Snowden leaked led to an intense focus on the NSA and its activities. It's caused tension between the U.S. and other countries, and it's brought a lot of criticism for the U.S. intelligence agency. In a new letter, Snowden describes the NSA as one of the worst offenders of mass surveillance without oversight. Snowden says the classified documents he leaked prove that. Snowden also accused governments of running a witch hunt to silence people like him who tell the public about these surveillance programs. He argues that his actions are bringing change and could lead to political reforms. U.S. officials disagree. They say Snowden's leak has harmed U.S. national security and allowed terrorist organizations to change how they communicate. These officials say Snowden should come back to the U.S., own up to what he's done, and face justice.
It's time for the shout-out. About how long does it take for light from the sun to reach Earth? If you think you know it, then shout it out. Is it 5 seconds, 8 minutes, 52 minutes, or 12 days? You've got 3 seconds. Go. It takes roughly 8 minutes and 19 seconds for light to travel from the sun to Earth. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
When there's something in the way, like the moon, it appears as if there isn't any light making its way from the sun to Earth. That happened on Sunday, a solar eclipse. It was visible from parts of North America, South America, the Middle East, Europe, and Africa. Most people saw a partial eclipse. But if you were in certain spots, you could see the whole thing and see that it was actually a hybrid eclipse. It started off as annular. That's when you can see a thin ring of sunlight around the Earth's shadow, like you do right here. and then it transitioned into a total eclipse. Most hybrids go back to annular before the eclipse ends. This one was rare because it stayed total through the end of its eclipse path. That hasn't happened since 1854, and scientists say it won't happen again until the year 2172. A football team's offensive line has 5 players. The NFL's Miami Dolphins are missing 2 of theirs. Jonathan Martin started every game he's played in for the Dolphins. He left the team last week. Richie Incognito has been with the Dolphins for 4 seasons. He was suspended by the team this week. Both of those decisions involve accusations of player misconduct.
We're learning new details about alleged player misconduct within the Miami Dolphins locker room that may have played a role in the abrupt departure of offensive tackle Jonathan Martin last week. The Miami Herald reports, citing an unnamed source, that veteran players are allegedly pressuring younger players to pay for their high-priced outings. One unnamed rookie is nearly broke because he can't say no to the older players, the source told the Herald. This weekend, players tweeted about a lavish-looking dinner. Another player joked about the dinner tab totaling in the tens of thousands of dollars, later adding the bill was split. Martin allegedly left the Dolphins after an incident with a group of players standing up and leaving when he tried to join them for lunch. The NFL is conducting an investigation, and the team released a statement saying, in part, "We are taking these allegations very seriously and plan to review the matter further."
If he was bullied, it certainly wouldn't be, unique. I mean, that is part of the NFL culture, especially for young players, particularly rookies. It is the epitome of machismo and strength and posturing among men.
This comes on the heels of an ESPN report over the weekend that offensive lineman Richie Incognito pressured Martin into paying $15,000 for a trip to Las Vegas that Martin wasn't even on. Incognito fought back on Twitter, writing, "ESPN, shame on you for attaching my name to false speculation. I won't be holding my breath for an apology." Late Sunday, the Dolphins indefinitely suspended Incognito pending the outcome of an investigation.
I could say without question that we emphasize a culture of team-first accountability and respect for one another. Any behavior that deviates from that is inconsistent with the values of our organization.
Some of his teammates hope Martin returns soon.
All right, we want to get your take on this. Do you think this is all part of the game in the NFL, or is it out of bounds? If you're already on Facebook, you can talk to us at facebook.com/CNN Student News. And if you're 13 or older, share your thoughts on our blog at cnnstudentnews.com. Teachers, we always want to hear from you too. If you check out the daily transcript and curriculum page on our site, and you should because it's awesome, scroll down to the bottom. That's where you can leave your feedback. Yesterday was an all-Tigers roll call. Today we're sticking with the cat theme, although the first mascot will look familiar because it's the Tigers, this time from Tenafly High School in Tenafly, New Jersey. Over in Matawan, Michigan, we've got the Wildcats and my friends from Matawan High School. And while Bearcats aren't technically cats, we're stretching the theme so we can include the Kearney High Bearcats from Kearney, Nebraska. We've covered dancing before, we've covered robots. But dancing robots, that may be a first. I don't know exactly how it's doing this. I just know it's awesome. Looks like it lost its little hat, but it gained a dance partner. Swing your partner round and round, or just squat and flap your arms. However you want to get down, y'all. This looks like a pair of breakdancing machines. The dance party could go on forever. Humans eventually get tired, but robot dancers, they're machines. And once you get them going, you really shouldn't meddle. They have to stay in dancing shape, though. Too much time away and they could get rusty. It's time for us to bust a move, but we'll gear up for more CNN Student News tomorrow, and we'll see you then.